a little more intense, particularly that team across the field is a conference foe. And that's exactly what we have in this showdown coming up. Welcome to Sooner Nation in Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, as we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Ole Miss Rebels, taking on the 5th-ranked team in the land, the Oklahoma Sooners. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Rebels will kick it away to start us off. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. From the shotgun, the inside give. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. Got some room to run. He's at the touchdown. Ole Miss. The defense does the work itself with a pick 6.
I mean, you talk about coming out as a defense and setting the tone and letting them know it's going to be a long game. Let's do this. How about a pick 6 on the first possession? Nice job by the defense coming out and striking first in this ball game.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the extra point makes it 7-0. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out. It's Kearney. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. To the air. It's Mateer. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma. This is exactly how you want to start conference play. Early in the race for sure, but precisely the type of foundation you need to set.
And this is really the meat on the bone in the schedule, right? A lot of teams have out-of-conference games early in the season, but now is where it matters the most. You talk to any coach, they'll tell you, David, number 1 on the goal sheet is to win your conference.
And I think it's so hard because of the familiarity. You play these same teams every single year. You know them inside and out. They know your scheme, you know their scheme, and sometimes the momentum of the moment can be tough, so got to continue to play well within the conference.
He wants to change this route. On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. He spins that thing down the middle. It's caught downfield. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
And that is a backbreaker if you're the defense, because you've done your job up to that point. You've set up the offense in 3rd and very long. You know they're going to throw it. You cannot allow a guy to get open that deep down the field for an explosive play. Somebody's going to have to answer for that when they get to the sidelines.
The give to the tailback. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Let's take just a second and talk about Oklahoma. They've done a really good job in high school recruiting just last week. A commitment from a big-time 4-star defensive back. David, what does a commitment like that do for the program?
I mean, so exciting. Like, once you start creating momentum in recruiting, it's really fun to watch it. And getting a guy like that in the back end, in the secondary, that's so important to your defense, man, does it get you excited. And other guys now say, hey, I might want to go play with that cat.
Fires it down the seam. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent. He's making bad decisions.
From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. He'll be stopped just short of the 20 at the 19. Give him 1. Guys, let's take just a second and talk about Ole Miss. A big-name running back, always a great get in the recruiting world. 4-star running back they got last week. Seems as if he'll fit in nicely here.
Oh, he's going to be a great fit. I mean, when you get a great player like that, the whole fan base gets jacked up. You see it all over social media.
He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on 2nd down. They're staring at 3rd.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
The Sooner fans booming. A cacophony of noise at the Palace on the Prairie on 3rd down. Rushes on him. Takes a hit as he fires. Oh, it's picked off. Touchdown Sooners. The defense takes matters into its own hands. Looking for the tie with the extra point. And they tacked on the extra point. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, guys, we've got a final in a game that just wrapped up here in the SEC. Florida dominated almost from wire to wire. And a game like this makes you harken back to those Chris Leak, Tim Tebow, Brandon Spikes teams that won it all in 2006 and again in 2008. An SEC clash and an impressive showing that could be a huge confidence builder for this program. Back to you.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update. This drive will commence from their own 11-yard line. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
There's just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
They've got them penned deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. The give is to Taylor. And runs through another guy. Finds just enough daylight to work his way up to the 19-yard line.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Rebels come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. looking to throw. It's Simmons. Here comes the heat. Pulls it in. Oh, he's got some space. They got him free for a big gainer to the 43.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on third down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Here's the pressure. Got it in the middle. It's Watkins. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And that's the advantage of being a big wide receiver because now you're a big target. And on these slant routes, you don't have to run the perfect route, but you can use your size and your physicality to get the job done almost every time.
Finds his man. It's Watkins. Down to the 30-yard line where he stopped after a gain of 5, and that will be a first down. And the Rebels are flying down the field. Trying to get the edge on the toss. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for loss. That was impressive.
Lost yardage leaves them looking at 2nd and 14. Looking to fire. That's reeled in. It's Wallace. How much lingerie is this guy going to leave on the deck as he gets it down to the 25?
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows. He can run slants. He can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Throws toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Rebels.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up 1.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Wants to throw. It's Mateer. Working that left side now. He goes to the ground, but not before a big pickup and a first down. Guys, Oklahoma's transition to the SEC in 2024 taught them a lesson that you might be able to get by at times without offensive consistency, but you won't thrive. So what kind of pressure, David, is the new guy under center under?
A lot of pressure, but obviously the experience, the transfer over. He was the top guy at that spot in the transfer portal. You bring in a new offensive coordinator, new weapons around him, so a revamped new Oklahoma offense. They're hoping they will match their defense, and those wins will go up and up and up.
Picked up some yardage with that completion, now second down. Back to pass. Pulls it in. It's Sategna. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down.
Man, you put those slot receivers in there, and here's why you do it. You back them off the football a lot of times, but who's guarding them? A lot of times those are linebackers. Those are safeties. You get those good matchups where you can feature one of your speedsters, and a lot of times good things happen.
Off play action on first down. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
They just have not been able to get this guy going. They've thrown it to him over and over again here in the first quarter, and QB and him just not able to link up. The defense knew that was where this guy was going to be looking, but these two, they've got to find a way to get on the same page.
They're dealing with a second and long. Quarterback may change this route. And back to the air on second down. Snagged in the middle. It's Burks. They are on the move down to the 32, and they pick up another first down.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. They've got a first down here to open the period. To the air, it's Mateer. Makes the catch, it's Tatum. There he goes! They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down.
Well, it wasn't a great start for this quarterback, but on this drive, he seems to be turning the corner. He just looks like he's playing in a different rhythm. He's seeing the field better. It's almost as if the game is starting to slow down for him. And I think on that last completion, it was a good example of that.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Second down, he'll throw it. Lets it fly. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves them with a 3rd and 6. From the gun, wants to pass. Good timing on the quick out. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. They'll send out the kicker here. And his slips just inside that right upright. That'll bring him to within 4. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Rutgers is currently ahead in this one. The folks in Piscataway have been in a frenzy all week, but they're in the birthplace of college football. This one is close. They're up by 7 over the Judicials. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the unexpected. Fellas?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. To the air, it's Simmons. Trying to set up the screen. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
The Rebels have put themselves in dire straits after that last play at 2nd and a mile. Wants to go up top. Oh, they're after him. That's caught. It's Wallace. He'll go out of bounds at the 22, methodically moving it away from their own end zone.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Complete along the sidelines, and that'll be good enough for the first down.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
And the Rebels will line it up on 1st and 10. They go to the ground. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Wide receiver going in motion. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Right down the middle. It's caught. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the 1st down. You know, you think back on the Jackson Dart era at Ole Miss, the best 3-year run in more than 50 years. Now Austin Simmons steps in, full of potential, Jesse, to lead the Rebels to further glory.
Quarterbacks have played so well under Lane Kiffin in recent years. You can even go ahead of Jackson Dart back to Matt Corral and what he was doing in that offense. So now the lefty takes over. This dude's got a lot of talent. He can make every single throw on the field. Lane Kiffin's playbook is completely at this guy's disposal, and because of that, you know there are going to be a lot of big plays for the Rebels.
They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Back to pass, it's Simmons. Fires to the wideout. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
What a hit by the defender. That's a good throw, and that was going to be caught, but how about the defender dislodging the football from its intended target? Nice job.
Sooner Nation bearing down on this offense on this huge 3rd down play. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Blasted as he lets it go. He makes the catch. Inside the 35, knocked out of bounds. This offense with a big play, and they'll mark it at the 33.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great job by that defender. I mean, he timed that snap count perfectly, got into the backfield and created the negative play.
The lost yardage leaves him with 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
And this offense has gotten off to a good start on 3rd down, but this is a different deal on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking for a huge play. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
He slides that just inside the right upright. Now up by 7 points here in the 2nd.
How How nice is it as a head coach to have a kicker like this? It makes these decisions on fourth down so much easier. Just trot him out there and let him stroke it through the uprights.
He'll bring it out. It's Sategna. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. From the gun, running back on the move. Gets it past the first down marker and still running. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
Really nice run. This guy brings balance to this offense. It's not all high-flying aerial passing attack, too. You go back to Adrian Peterson, DeMarco Murray, Samaje Perine. They've always had guys in these spread-up tempo offenses that have been able to give them balance and force the defense to stay honest. That's exactly what this guy brings the Sooner offense.
That's caught. It's Gibson. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
This receiver is so dangerous out in space, and it's a nice job by the QB getting him the ball early on the curl route. And you see, once he has it, he's got some wiggle, he's got some shake, makes some defenders miss, and gets up the field.
On the ground, it's Ott. Breaks into the open. And finally out of bounds after an explosive run by this ball carrier.
Every time he touches the ball, you can feel the excitement from this home crowd because Palmer, he can go the distance with that game-breaking speed.
You're right, David. He's a special talent. I'll tell you, these fans, they come here to see this guy play because he has game-breaking speed. Stuff you can't coach. You saw it on that play.
Man, on those screen passes, I want those defensive linemen to run right up the field, and I want to throw it right over their head where I got some space and I can get my running back going. That is the opposite of what happened right there. There was no space. He couldn't even get going.
Looking to throw, it's Mateer. Gets it out quickly. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
The Sooners need their binoculars to find that line to gain here on third down. They'll move the tight end. On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Flushed out of the pocket. Had nowhere to go with that one. Had to just throw it away. A wise decision to keep the field goal in play.
Really nice third down sub defense there that time. It's third and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, and now forcing the incompletion, setting up fourth.
Oh, he missed it. No good. After that miss, still a 7-point game, guys.
Oh, man, the dreaded doink when you knock it off the crossbar. Those are ones where, man, just a couple inches to the other side, towards the middle, and that thing's in, but it still counts as a missed opportunity.
They're going to run it to the right.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is the top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to challenge your guys, especially in the red zone, to be more physical, to be able to continue to run the football against a really good defense.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Back to pass, it's Simmons. Quickly to the tight end. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Pulls it in. It's Wallace. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down.
And the defense has their hands full trying to stop this guy in the slot. They're going to have to figure something out to bracket him, try and get two bodies around him, maybe get some safety help as well, because right now they do not have the answer for this guy.
They think they can impose their will here with the run to the right. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
You just need more from your offensive line. Second and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it, but the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop, and now you set up third down, and this offensive line is going to have to play a lot better here.
And he gets it done on third down. They move the chains, and they'll mark it at the 44.
This offense is clicking, and clearly everything is working. The offensive coordinator's calling good plays. The quarterback and his unit is executing. And this defense right now, they have no answers.
Looking to throw on first down. He hurls one deep down the left side. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
Looking for room. It's Diggs. Turning it on. Knocked out of bounds. They're in the red zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
Fires toward the end zone. And he was going for the touchdown there, and they couldn't make the connection.
I like the play call there. I know it falls incomplete, but you're in the defensive side of the field right now, and you're going back to the guy that's already scored a touchdown for you. This guy has stepped up. He's made a play. So if I'm on offense, I keep throwing him the football.
Looking to the big tight end. Touchdown, Ole Miss! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And they trust their QB to execute like they have the whole first half, and he delivers, and they build on this lead and build their momentum going into halftime.
The AT unit on the field. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. So it's an 80-yard drive, and the finisher, an 18-yard touchdown throw. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Fielded in the end zone. It's Sategna. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Wants to adjust the pattern. Looking to pass. It's Mateer. Skips away from pressure. Grabbed over the middle. It's Kent. Get it down to the 28-yard line. It is a first down, and they have to show some urgency here. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Looking to throw on first down. He'll take a deep shot here. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
This is going to be a tough situation for the offense here. Late in the first half, they're trying to find a way to generate some points before going into the locker room, but the defense is ready for it. So the windows are not going to be very big, especially when you're trying to attack vertically like they did on that last one. Downfield completions are going to be tough to come by.
He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. And the Sooners will kick it off to start the second half. He'll bring it out. It's Lacey. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. They keep it on the ground to open the third. Now they've got breathing room. Got 6 all the way out to the 20.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Caught near the sticks. It's dribbling. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, he didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell incomplete.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with eye discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football. And you saw guys play with excellent instinct, running downhill and making a tackle.
Wants to keep it in the air. And the rush will get to him at the 25. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Rebels will line up to punt it away. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. His first one of the day gave that leg a workout 5 times in last week's victory. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. Back to throw, it's Mateer. Looking down the middle. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't hook up.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off.
And he throws another interception, his 3rd one of the night. After making the interception, ran that thing back to the 18-yard line.
And talk about being an impact player for his defense. That's now his 2nd interception in this game. Time and time again, when they've thrown his direction, he's come up with a big play. And in a tight game like this, those 2 interceptions, that is massive for this defense.
Looking downfield on first down. Under fire. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Rebels. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9. A quick strike, just as we expected.
Yeah, and quick strikes are easy when you got such great field position. Obviously, when the offense starts in such a good spot, puts the defense in a bad position, and the offense takes advantage.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. Well, you could draw a line in the middle, and he would have hit that thing. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, your game is a big one, but so is this battle right now inside the American. Memphis has opened up its largest lead of the game in what's shaping up to be one of the more one-sided affairs of the weekend. They're up by 21 over USF. We'll we'll circle back if anything big happens in this clash in the American you should know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Dropping back, it's Mateer. Quickly complete. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it. A little short of the first down.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
And after your defense just went out there and gave up a touchdown and let them build the lead more, you really need to come out with this drive and answer. And the running game is not in. They were ready for that. Gonna have to create some...
Picked off. What a play to set him up. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
The Ole Miss offense ready to go back to work. The give from the gun. Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line.
I like this guy as a running back because he can run between the tackles and he can also go outside. He can really do it all.
And the Rebels can really attack on this second and short. Off the play fake. Looking to the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
And that's just a huge missed opportunity on offense. QB missed his guy wide open in the end zone. You might not get another clean look like that in the rest of this game.
The Rebels are at the line looking to convert on third and short. They'll run the toss. And they did not let him get to that first down line. It'll bring up a call here.
Well, the offense tries to pick up that first by running it on third down. No can do, and that's really been the theme all game long. This defense has just been better at the point of attack, shutting down this run game.
And they'll send the field goal team back out for the second time tonight. Dead center perfect. And that will extend their lead even further.
You've got to make the opponent pay for turning the football over, and while this team would have liked to have scored a touchdown off that pick, I think they're pretty happy getting the field goal.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Kearney. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Looking for a man, it's Hawkins. Fires to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few.
That's a great example of the defense there, tackling to catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
Got some of the work done on first. Now let's see what they have on second down. Back to pass. Caught close to the marker. It's Kent. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38.
Nice route there by the tight end, making it real easy for his quarterback to find an easy completion.
It's first and 10 from the 38-yard line. Wants to throw on first down. A strike downfield. Oh, he's got some space. And he was on his way. Gets it all the way to the 38.
Yeah, and I'm going
going to keep finding these matchups with my great players in the slot so they can go get me big plays like this. I create matchup nightmares for a defense, and I get it to one of my best players consistently.
The Sooners have it with a 1st and 10. On the move and looking deep. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Coming out of the tunnel in the third quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the third quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first half.
Well, and the bad thing is they're going to be in passing situations. They're coming from behind. They're going to need him to play better. Like, he's going to have to read the field better and make some plays if they want to get back in this football game.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, it's Grant. Bringing the heat. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Man, it's easy to play defense when you can do this. When you can get to the quarterback quick and make him make a decision quick, it makes it easier for the secondary, for the linebackers, for everybody on the field.
After the 2nd down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. That's caught. It's Ray. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself with the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the third quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs. And this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen, you're the quarterback. You're happy to oblige when you've got the playmakers you have offensively. Just keep chucking it. Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside. And, David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Might be decision time if the defense can get a stop on 3rd down from the 45. He's got it. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a 1st down at the 31. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
They get him off his feet after a pickup of 5 down to the 25.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You've got to just keep getting positive yards. You got to keep the 3rd downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team.
Deep shot for the end zone. Got it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Ole Miss. That is what we call in the industry a defensive breakdown. That guy was loose for the big play.
Busted coverage, really bad execution. Somebody slips, somebody falls. Nothing about that defensively is something you're looking for, but the offense will take it and get the easy touchdown.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. An impressive 66-yard touchdown drive. And they close that drive going to the air for the final few inches and the score. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out their quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last 2 drives, and the best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the run.
They'll run it. Got room to work. Gets it across the 30 to the 31. A pickup of 5.
And those little runs, man, they don't look great in the box score, but I love when an offense stays on schedule and it makes those third downs more manageable, easier, harder to attack me now from the defensive perspective trying to get to me. So it's an easy, simple play for this offense, but I love it.
They want to run this quarterback. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
Well, I don't know what the quarterback saw on that last play, but he made a pretty quick decision that he was just going to tuck it and run it, and his offensive coordinator is glad he did. How about the speed by the QB on that play?
Off the play fake on first down. Throws to the wideout. Makes a connection. And he's got enough for a first down. Now to see if they have enough time to snap it again here in the third. As we enter the fourth quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Looking downfield, it's Hawkins. Under fire. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
Running behind that left side. Pick up a 5. They'll need 5 more on third down. Trying to pick up a first down. Here we go. In the gun, looking to throw on third down. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and fourth down's coming.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback in this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Hauls it in easily enough for the first down. Touchdown, Oklahoma! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. This game is almost certainly decided already, but the good news is for the next game, guys still flying around, still playing hard, not really hanging their heads.
Long season. This is early in the season. Still got plenty of time. Still find out which plays you like, which you don't, and keep running them, keep getting better at them. So use this as practice.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. Dropping back, it's Grant. Quickly out to the tight end. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play.
Nice quick throw there. And it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on the field.
And you can feel the momentum a little bit, right? I mean, the fourth quarter has kind of changed, and this defense is settled in. Their offense has scored as well. So this is a big tipping point in this football game. It's a big possession because Uncle Mo is all on the side of the defense.
I think in this situation after that incompletion, 4th and short on your side of the field, the smart play is to punt it away and trust your defense.
They kick it away on 4th down. He'll try to field the punt and see if he can give his offense better field position. Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They'll start this drive from the 42. To the air on first down. Makes the catch. It's Tatum.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
Unloads to the wideout. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This was my favorite time to be a defensive lineman, man. You get up big, late in the game, you know it's past. You're just teeing off on the quarterback. The defensive backs, they're bailing, playing those deep passes. It is hard to play offensive football in this situation.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. Desperately wanted to convert on fourth down, but couldn't do it. On the move, it's Lacy. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock. And they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on second down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks in a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a third down.
That penalty cost him a... down conversion, and now they'll have to try it from a little farther away. They've got the ball at midfield, but they're facing a third and long. The RPO, it's complete. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first. They'll pat the kicker on the tail and tell him to go give it a shot. This kicker bragged that he can kick an 80-yard field goal. He'll settle for a 59-yarder here. No good. And this will stay a three-score game at 24. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They'll open this drive from their own 42-yard line. Quarterback making checks. Back to throw, it's Hawkins. Fires to the wideout. Got his man to the left. There he goes. A huge play there, and they finally get him out of bounds at the 37.
When you're throwing these comeback routes, man, the timing has got to be so good between the two of them because you know the ball is going to be in the air a long time. You can't throw it late. It's going to get picked. That time, really nice job getting it out early, and the receiver doing a nice job on his route so that the ball was right on him as soon as he turned around.
Can't hold on. He had it right down the middle, and he flat dropped it.
At this point of the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Got it in the middle. It's Burks. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's first down.
When you play zone coverage and you got a wide receiver that's a beast, it becomes very, very difficult. I got to make sure I play physical and maybe even shade the side of the wide receiver having a lot of success.
Pressure coming. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
And how about this defense taking care of business? Keeping that guy under 200 yards is a heck of a day. Their offense has obviously done their job too, and this has been an absolute beatdown.
And they can't connect, but the flag flies, and I think this is going to be pass interference.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referees caught it.
From the red zone, looking for a man. Throws to the wideout. He caught it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown Sooners.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Yeah, and the defense comes up with the stop, and you just wonder, the analytics world and all that stuff, that whatever the card says to do, you're supposed to do. I wonder if they were listening to that card.
From inside his own 15, let's see how far he can get. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. A collision, and he stopped at the 27 after picking up one.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Fires to the big fella. They'll mark him down at the 37. It's a 10-yard gain. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They've got it at the 37. It's first and 10. On the run, it's Diggs.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
Stop just across the 50 at the 49-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a first down. And the Rebels are on the move. From the gun, the running back looking for room. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Quick pass on the fly motion. Brings him to the open. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Well, this running back has had a pretty good day so far in this game, and I think the key right now is for the defense to find a way to slow him down. He had a good run 2 plays ago. The defense gets the TFL on this one. I think you got to change up your fronts defensively and try to give this offensive line different alignment looks to see if they can confuse him.
They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down. They'll try to salvage a field goal on this drive. This might be a little easier if it were straight on, but a 43-yarder from the right hash. He just barely got enough of that one and just barely kept it straight enough, too. And that lead grows even bigger.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest of this way, and we looking pretty good.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I think at this point of the game now in the second half, down by as many points as they are, it's going to be really hard for the offense to sprinkle in the run. They tried it there. It didn't work. I think you got to be thinking about the passing game now and start trying to identify playmakers out on the perimeter of the field that can get you back in this game.
He's taking a deep shot, and he throws another interception, his third of the night.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
Well, the dreams of an undefeated season are over. Certainly an accomplishment to make it this far, but this week in practice is probably going to be pretty interesting.
It's going to be very tough after suffering that loss, but you wonder, David, if this might be a blessing in disguise for them, because sitting here at one loss late in the year, their college football playoff hopes very much alive still. Now, can they turn this into a positive and get back on the horse?
And we've seen that in recent years, right? Like you saw Ohio State, they used a late loss to catapult